From Studio 1A in Tampa, Florida, comes a talk show that really feels your pain and tells you like it is. We love America and all that freedom-loving Americans want to protect. Live from coast to coast and on your radio, it's For the People with Keith Allen.
We'll help you survive this thing called life. We're for the people. Whatever your source of stress or strife, for the people is there.
Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Keith Allen, Mr. and Mrs. America. This is For the People for a Friday, September the 1st, 2017, as Texans are going back to their houses and trying to sort through all of their items. I have to display this right off the bat, a little song for you that Gloria Gaynor, I Will Survive. Remember that 70s tune? If you didn't get our first hour, I'm just going to give you an idea of what she did at her home. She said, what can I do? And she said she wrote the song in about 5 minutes, rewrote the song, should I say, with the lyrics, but let's bring a little smile to your face here, a little disco for you.
At first we were afraid, we were petrified, kept thinking Texas couldn't live in floodwaters this high. We know you spent plenty of time preparing for this hurricane. Who could have known that it would come with so much devastating rain? But we will strive, and you'll survive. With all our love and help and praise, we will stand strongly by your side. We are your neighbors, tried and true, and we'll do all we can for you, and you'll survive. You will survive. You will survive.
All right, God bless Gloria Gaynor. We will survive, and this thing is literally, the song has gone viral, and she looks terrific. She really does. Nice to hear from her. She seems very positive and selling some T-shirts and, just doing everything she can to help the folks in Texas. And here's a really grim reality of all of this, and I just thought to myself, do we even mention this? But I just thought it was an interesting factoid. Jacob Jordan from Newsmax, he wrote about it, so you can't just blame me for it. But he said the Houston Morgue is being pushed to the limit because of Harvey. He says not only did the storm lead to more than 30 deaths, the widespread flooding has also prevented funeral homes from collecting the corpses of those who died from other causes. Well, folks, the morgue, the fourth largest city in the U.S., Houston, is near capacity, prompting officials to ask for a refrigerated tractor-trailer to handle any overflow. Refrigerated tractor-trailers. The bodies, storm-related or not, have accumulated over the past several days as Harvey's floodwaters swallowed the city, essentially closing down all businesses, including funeral homes. Harris County Institute of Forensic Sciences spokesperson Teresa Bentley said Thursday that the morgue had 175 bodies. Capacities at 200. Says our agency has requested assistance from the state to provide extra storage capacity as ongoing search and recovery efforts continue over the next several weeks, which they anticipate, sadly, to reveal other dead of Harvey. More than half of Harvey's deaths have been in Harris County, and the agency is investigating 10 others that could potentially be blamed on the storm. In Houston, the owners of a small funeral home said that they hunkered down for days. Pam Harden of the Harden Family Funeral Home said that her funeral home didn't receive any requests to pick up bodies, but there was no way they could have done it anyways because of the dangerous roads. She said it's treacherous, and there's no point in it right now. Wow. Harvey's Houston homes destroyed a total of 40,000. That's just a small number, again, for Houston homes. just in that area immediately. But they say in the billions of dollars. People are asking questions about, is this a gas shortage crisis or are we just panicking? That's the headline here. Gas stations across Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex running out of gas. Long lines are forming at those that still have supplies. That's the scene, folks, playing out as we speak in the aftermath of Hurricane Harvey. Countless fuel refineries have been shut down in Houston and the surrounding areas. I don't know if you're like me, but I remember being in the station wagon back in the 70s. Was it wood? No, it wasn't the woody one. This one was blue. It was a blue station wagon. And also I remember it was in the summer, and it was long lines. I was hot. Everybody was hot because you couldn't run the engine of the car because you were out of gas practically, okay? You were riding on fumes. And I believe that big station wagon had a big V8 engine, and they weren't all too great on gas there because at that time, boom, you'd get it had a carburetor. Oh, there was nothing more embarrassing. If the car wasn't working as it should, having your mother in the station wagon dragging you off to school. And she got one of those Mercury station wagons. My dad gave her one of the better ones. I guess, if you're going to have a station wagon, let's sport it out good. That's before the minivans. And my dad, he didn't even like to drive it. He ended up getting himself, remember those International Scouts? I don't even know how we just segued from that, but the coolness of vehicles. But anyway, they were cool. If you remember the International Scouts, he had one when they first came out, and it had white pinstripe. It was gray, and he needed it because he was an engineer. So we'd go up to, I remember the transmitter site in Blairstown, New Jersey, and it was very helpful to get up the mountain in the snow to get there so we could work on the transmitter very safely. Sometimes you'd actually have to use a snowmobile. But anyway, I remember the 70s. I remember the gas lines. I remember the shortages. So Pat Gray and Stu Bergerow, who consider themselves well-versed in the art of preparedness, offered some advice today. And they say a little bit less than a quarter of a tank of gas is, I think, the right place to be now. And after admitting that he had only about 47 miles left in my tank. And last night, he says, we kind of got into a panic situation, said this guy. Pat said, so at 11 o'clock at night, we went out to get gas. And according to the Dallas Morning News, gas shortages are often created by people panicking to top off their tanks. The sudden spike in demand renders the regular deliveries inadequate, creating the shortage. We're not at a real gas shortage situation, I don't think, ventured a not-so-confident sounding. So it was an interesting thought. You got a half a tank, you got a quarter of a tank, how far are you driving? Going across the country, people freaking out to go to the gas pumps to top off all their vehicles, and some people have some monster tanks, and so unnecessary. So, again, rule of thumb, and I've said this in the first hour, if you listen to both hours, and by the way, if you don't listen to 1 and 2, then you're really missing a lot, okay? You're missing a lot because they go hand in hand. It's like reading a book. If you don't read that one chapter, you don't know what happened. All right, so for continuous coverage on all things, you must listen to hours 1 and 2. This is a subliminal message brought to you by Keith Allen and For the People. And what do you find both hours? Either on this radio station that you're listening, and if they don't carry it, forthepeopleshow.com has one of those hours that you're missing on our podcast. But we appreciate our proud affiliates across the country that listen every day, board ops that sit there and run commercials locally, and remember, the commercials that are aired on this radio station, do business with them, because that's why For the People here is on the air. Take care of your local station, and they'll keep For the People on the air forever and ever and ever. And we say thanks to you. Donald Trump putting his money where his mouth is, and I commend. He didn't have to do this. He could have given $100,000. He gave $1 million in personal money to Harvey storm relief efforts. White House Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders said in a briefing yesterday, and Sanders said Trump is calling on reporters to help decide which specific organizations that he should give to. Reporters. Interesting. Reporters. Now, Franklin Graham was there with Donald Trump there in Texas and Greg Abbott, so I really do hope some of that money goes to Samaritan's Purse, because one of my favorites, these people are not greedsters at the top, no ivory tower structure. I know there's other organizations that but they are one of my favorites. If you had to give, I posted it on Facebook at For the People Show. You can check it out, and you can give to Samaritan's Purse. But, man, they are classy. They get the job done. They get the stuff there, and they continue helping, doing a great work. Anyways, it says here in this article that Trump could also take a cue from his own reelection campaign. Earlier this week, his 2020 political committee blasted out emails and texts to more than 10 million supporters, encouraging people to donate to Harvey efforts. The message provided links to several specific charities: the Red Cross, Salvation Army, United Way, and local animal rescue operations. I thought that was powerful. The animal rescue operations. Yeah, do you see all the pictures with the kitties? Saw a lady with her birds this morning being helped. Dogs, reptiles, all sorts of animals. A lot of animals don't have their owners. A lot of owners ended up dead, missing, got out of Dodge. Some people, from what we understand, for whatever reason, did not take their animals with them. A lot of them were found in a lot of water, treading water, as a matter of fact, is trying to stay alive. One lady said, we wanted to take our kitty with us, but we couldn't find the kitty. It was hiding, didn't want to go. So they took off. So a lot of folks are going to be looking for their pets, that's for sure. And unfortunately, for whatever reason, and minus the dead, that would be a good explanation for not being able to get your pet. But pet shelters will be filled with animals that will never be claimed again. And so there would be a good opportunity if you're looking to get a dog. You may want to keep in touch. But those folks, they're going to be working overtime to care for those animals. You betcha. So another great place. And I am an animal lover. Like I say, sometimes your dog, your cat, your pet is more loyal than any human being on the planet. Isn't that the truth? More loyal, which is it's huge. But anyways, I just thought that was some good information to give you. And I was hoping that Trump would do something like this. But I'm making a point, Hillary Clinton ain't giving money. And she's getting, $20,000, $30,000 that she's charging for a VIP section for a book tour. You think she could spare some money? You think we're going to see a headline from the Clintons donating a bunch of money? I feel your pain. I'm going to give you $1 million. And they have it. They got the money, but they're not going to do it. Nope, not a chance. God bless the folks that give what they can, and when they do, they give from the heart. These people will be blessed. That's for sure. God can provide. Isn't that true? Jason Chaffetz said former FBI Director James Comey has a lot of explaining to do. And, man, that's begun drafting a statement exonerating Hillary Clinton even before interviewing key witnesses, including the former Secretary of State, Hillary Rotten Clinton. Here's Senator Chaffetz this morning, former Senator Chaffetz, on Fox and Friends. He's now a